One of the most strangest moments in the Kenny Veach cave mystery is when a particular hiker who set out there only one time drastically changed in behaviour and was never the same person again. What truly went on out there for them to change up? Hi there, welcome. The reason why this particular topic is so important is because what it previously links back to, as in why did really Robin specifically choose that particular canyon, skipping by the previous ones when searching for Kenny Veach and Cave, when Kenny Veach never gave the coordinates nor the name for that location Robin went to, and that other hikers in between and onwards haven't explored there when they first set out. So did really Robin know more than what other people knew? Was Robin hiding information from us? Did he actually come across something in that desired spot? And that's why he went. But it may have backfired. And that's what led to the change in behaviour. There seems to be a bit of a story to this, that Robin goes out just one time and drastically changes in behaviour, almost encouraging people not to go back out there. Emotional language used. Today, join me as I share with you before and after footage of Robin. Footage of him before he got involved in the case, footage of him when he was out searching, and then the after effects that followed. It's deeply shocking and disturbing, and indirectly it does link to behavioural changes with MacADventures, father and son group that would go out exploring Nevada desert and even Area 51, the back gates, entrance ways, etc. And it went wrong one time, and then after that they were never the same people again. A drastic change up, and even the mention of storming Area 51, the timing, the year of it correlating to really Robin, who was also involved in the supposed storming of Area 51, being in the area, roughly in the desert, with groups of people documenting it. What was Robin really all about? Was there more going on behind the scenes? And some people catched on to that idea that Robin was either some secret investigator or a part of police and trying to gain intel from those inside. To do what with it exactly, who knows? Maybe this time Robin was rumbled, but there is still that possibility that on this occasion, because of where Robin was at in such a desolate location, could he have encountered something he wasn't supposed to? And it changed him, his personality, his mindset, and never wanted to set foot back out there ever again. But it is very unusual, an anomaly, because all other hikers that have gone out there on and off, whether it be one time or multiple, they didn't change in behaviour. When Jeff Clark set out, remained level-headed and returned back the same way. And for most part of it, Sean Hall-Eckert too. For SB, the same. For Jay Silverheels, the same. For Jay Chuck, while some people misunderstand him because of his personality or behaviour, at least on the YouTube side, from my experience, he's always been that way. Just makes him unique. But in terms of when he does get involved in the case, he is hands-on, a desert dog, and really locks in and covers an extreme amount of distance, such as starting from the DNWR, walking down Joe May Road and doing the Kenny Veach hike or part of it, which most people normally don't do because they park down the Joe May Road closer to the hiking area of Little Joe May Canyon. Nevertheless, with Robin mainly being the only one to go out there and change when returning back, something must have happened out there or afterwards when he uploaded a video online. At times, there can be moments where when you talk about it online or publicize it, it then makes you a marked target. Did the same happen to Kenny Veach? And that's why he disappeared, because of talking about his finding on a video, gained traction, popularity, gained the interest of government or military, and they needed to take action before it spread any further, before what? That Kenny Veach may have revealed the dark truth and secrets out there. Did Robin encounter the same thing which Kenny once did in the past? because, as we've already seen, Kenny did acknowledge that he was over that way in the past and said the cave isn't over there. That, in its own right, language could be interpreted as the opposite, because Kenny had contradicted himself on different times, so you can't always trust everything that he says. So there's a lot to look at, and I'm going to break it down bit by bit in terms of the footage before, during, and after. But before we go any further, I just want to say big shout out to those that have watched my videos recently, and just the awareness that it's gained. That's all good. Let's keep the momentum going. If you've missed out on any recent videos, you can catch them all available top right corner where the eye symbol is up there, with the full playlist on the Kenny Veach case too. Welcome if you're currently here during the live premiere. Share your thoughts in the chat there. And for everyone else, you've got any thoughts, theories, ideas, questions, answers, counterpoints, be sure to drop your comments down below under the video. It will help with spreading the awareness. And if you can find the hype button on mobile, make sure to click that. If you still have enough hypes within a week, there's a free limit thing on a channel. That'll be appreciated. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. The first clip I will play to you is when Robin was active on YouTube before he got involved with the Kenny Veach case.
What's going on, Rob Mob? It's your boy Sonic JK. It's your boy Really Robin. What's good, Rob Mob?
Although it's a very short clip, just know it's remnants of footage from his channel, because he did delete all his videos and his channel down the line. So there's only so much that could be archived. But just from that very small clip, you could tell high energy, body language, mainly positive, creative, playful, overall positive. And to some extent, that translated over to Storm Area 51, how he's going along, interviewing people, documenting it, walking along, somewhat high energy, in the moment, in the present, there with it. How does that change though? Well, when it came to getting involved in the Kenny Veach case in 2021 onwards, mid or late 21, in terms of his hike footage, which is also archived, let me just play to you a small portion of it so you can see and hear what he sounded like.
Okay, I would like to point out that this place is extremely desolate. However, there is a bone put upon this rock, and it's too high to the floor where the riverbed would flow when it overflows and comes down the mountain. This is not natural. I did not touch this. Look how high that is, guys. This is up to like my shoulders, so like 4 feet, 3.5, something like that. But that is definitely put there as a warning. I've almost reached my stage 5 of my search for MacADventures and Kenny Veach.
For most part of it, he sounded focused and had it under control in terms of his stamina. Maybe because of his age and fitness, he seemed to manage it rather well, because Jeff Clark had acknowledged that that area is no easy task. It's a very dangerous, demanding, challenging place. And for Robin to pick that one spot out of all the other hike routes and easier options to go for the harder one is kind of unusual, because Kenny Veach didn't record himself up there, and when comparing footage, it didn't look anything like it or similar. So I don't know why Robin chose that particular place, but maybe he had a plan in mind, so that makes it a bit of a mystery. Would Robin have changed in behaviour if he did the actual normal hike route as Kenny Veach? That's a question to throw out there. But beside that, when Robin did his hike, did what he did, and then later, at a point, he left some comments online about how he was going to reveal the truth. He did 1 or 2 videos explaining the truth behind Kenny Veach, which did not explain the truth. It was more of a theory, but the language and wording implied something else. It did receive backlash, and maybe it did impact Robin, but before that backlash, in one of the videos, this was Robin's new behavior.
Who's ever planning on going out and looking for the cave, don't do it. I'm telling you right now. I'm warning you. Don't go out there. Whatever you do, don't go there. They'll kill you. And that's when he saw it. This is the last thing Kenny Veach ever saw. This is what's been following you, Sean. This is what's been inside the M cave. Don't go there. I'm warning you. They'll kill you. There's only darkness and death there. Just don't go out there anymore.
Hopefully you're able to see the drastic change yourself. Here's eye contact, body language, bit of a trembling voice, appears a little nervous, anxious, worrying. Even though he's in, a place of familiarity, his bedroom at that time, he still seemed scared and shaken. When you compare it back to his hike footage where he was more controlled and focused, there's a big change up. And then if you compare it to before getting involved in the case, a huge change. Sometimes in life, when in a certain environment, when involved with a certain group, that more so in real life, and other times digitally online, it can change people. Like when they say you go to prison or you go into the military, it can change you. It can make you a better person. It could make you a worse person. It could leave many scars behind when you finally get out or reach the other end, right? There's different ways of looking at it. But should you be badly impacted by the Kenny Veach case? Well, I guess it depends how involved you are, how hands-on you are. Because online, you can be impacted through levels of resistance and threats and darkness. I've encountered all of that. It's all documented on my channel. You can look back if you want. Because if you think hiking out there is mysterious and weird, whilst granted it is, it's the online aspect and those that are lurking in the background that makes it just as spooky, if not more. So be sure to check it. Did Robin encounter any threats or dark forces like that? Beside the backlash which he faced, which might have put him off doing YouTube, his initial behaviour of don't go back out there, don't go out there, they'll kill you. There's implying that's what happened to Kenny when going back out there. But yet, other hikers have gone out there since. Jeff Clark repeatedly, more so SB Vegas Adventures and J Chuck. And each time they've gone out there, yes, they've had some creepy encounters, phantom footsteps, noises in the background, whispers in the wind, and even footage being lost or technical equipment not working or malfunctioning. Yet they still made it back safely and they've not changed in behaviour. So why was Robin this one exception? Was it just down to wrong place or wrong time? Just like how it was with Kenny Veach. When people talk about the possible M cave, how it might open up at certain times and close other moments, you've got to choose the timing. It might be by luck or chance, but could that happen the same way for dangers out there? For all the other people that hike out and might make it back safely, no real issues. For Robin, something different occurred. Take in mind, he made it back home and safe and was able to upload his video, just like how Kenny Veach did back in 2014 of October. I'm not saying that Robin went back out there again, but you never know, because there are some hikers out there and possible rogue hikers that haven't acknowledged their presence when out and about. Maybe because they want to remain anonymous, some may want to protect themselves. But it's good to know who comes in and who comes out, because if not everybody comes out, there could be other missing people out there. Now, Robin is missing online. Is he missing in real life? To my knowledge, I don't think so. But things can change with time. Now, we're taking that all into consideration to compare and contrast with MacADventures, father and son couple, as in YouTubers, that were exploring the US and at some point focused on Nevada and Area 51. How does this link to really Robin? Well, let's head on over now and I'll explain it. What you're looking at on screen, a 77k subscriber channel known as MacADventures, in which in the past they were known for exploring, and one of the most popular videos on their channel was, as you see titled, Held at Gunpoint by Camo Dudes at Area 51 Secret Back Gate. Now, whilst the Kenny Veach Case M Cave mystery isn't directly near Area 51, it is close to military land on the left-hand side, southwest, more so west, and somewhat northwest onwards if you used to include Area 51 and beyond. And furthermore, with the Nellis test range and the presence of military aircraft passing on over, that just so happened to be caught on camera previously which I'll show you shortly. Did Kenny Veach, did really Robin encounter similar things as like how MacADventures did, but it was from the air, not ground level. MacADventures, when exploring a secret back gate, I believe it was the father that stepped over the line where the signpost is, but before they even did that, the camo dudes did drive by, and then obviously they turned around shortly afterwards. And from this angle, you can see how there's no like gate or barrier. You could just drive on if you wanted to, but it's obviously not advised. Even though it's not that clear, there is a warning about you shouldn't go past or beyond. There will be consequences, if not worse, could be fatal depending on the situation. They posed to take a photo, and then when getting ready to leave and turn around, then the guys showed up, instantly pulling out a firearm, the guy on the left, saying, "You need to put your hands up to turn around," and they were patted down and searched, somewhat interrogated as to what they were doing and why they were there. And whilst they were somewhat let off, they had to pay a fine of $750 supposedly. And you think, oh, well, that must be it then. But they were able to just continue on after that point and keep on uploading. That wasn't the case. This, or one supposedly, was the last known normal video that they made. But they went quiet after this point. Whilst it wasn't a one and done thing, in terms of going out somewhere and facing something unusual, something scary, unexpected to some extent, and there's consequences for one's own actions, whether you're in the right or wrong, did Robin have a similar encounter? Whether it be caught on camera or not, maybe afterwards were the consequences, and that's what led to his change in behaviour. But how did MacADventures change in behaviour? Well, whilst they were being interrogated at the time, appearing somewhat shaken, probably not used to this type of encounter, especially with a firearm being drawn and threatened on you and your life, being interrogated and patted down with a level of force, no messing about. After this point, when it came to Ewu Crew, when they tried investigating and they was trying to get answers out of the son of the YouTube channel, and one response, or a vague cryptic one, was something to do with they were detained for 4 to 6 months. Detained where? Who knows? Was Kenny Veach detained when he tried setting out looking for the cave, the M cave, that it held military secrets, or it was a tunnel or entranceway to a military base underground, directly linking onto Area 51, you never know, and got caught in the crossfire, and Kenny was punished for it. Was Robin to the same extent? Well, he didn't go missing. MacADventures, for some time, they did. But it's when a live stream showed up where the son did speak out. And whilst this group of people, this couple, were known, father and son, for exploring, being passionate and enthusiastic, their behaviour greatly shifted and changed, just like really Robin. Watch this clip right now and listen in.
But also, like, if there were actually people planning to do something, anything past the gate, like, that's just dumb. Like, I never really understood that. And, like, I didn't really understand this whole raid Area 51 thing, you know, whether my or any of the videos that are out there in the world on Area 51 got, you know, that dude to want to do a raid or whatever. Like, who cares? You know, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, who cares what's back there, you know? Like, it's a military, it's like going to Camp Pendleton and, like, saying, let's go raid Camp Pendleton, you know? Like, it's just a military base, and, like, I'm sure that they have, like, testing for, like, equipment and, like, whatever, like, cool, you know? Like, that's cool, but, like, why? Maybe because it's out in the middle of nowhere, and there's, like, a lot of, you know, science fiction and, like, movies about it. I don't know, like...
If you are familiar with MacADventures from the past, or you look back at their previous videos, you can see their chemistry, father and son, how well they got on, sense of humour, laughing and joking, being positive, adventurers, doing what they could to explore, sometimes edging the boundaries, literally crossing over the line or a gate area to get content, have fun. And when the Area 51 took off and gained views, they focused in on that and was inspired and passionate and determined to keep on going up to that final time where it backfired, went wrong, and supposedly they were detained. And at least with the Sun, not the same again, because in the body language of the guy in the vehicle, his eyes are a bit all over the place, looked like he was looking off to the side or looking behind him as if he was being watched, or he might have felt like he was, so he was trying to make sure he said the right things. And by saying, you know, there's nothing of interest over there, it's just military, that's all. Well, there must have been something of interest to be going out there in the first place and exploring, and it was good enough then, why not now? And maybe, deep down, they or him was passionate but could not show it on camera. Or in other ways, maybe it was just completely ripped from the person's soul because of where they were detained, the conditions and environment they were in, and the punishments endured. What were the consequences? Psychological, physical, changing their perspective on things, and then leading to them encouraging others not to do the same, such as Storm Area 51. It's not worth it. What's the big deal? So when you get someone who's very passionate or focused and determined, when they do a complete U-turn and they're no longer passionate or they no longer care, they're more likely to say, don't bother doing it. Whereas in the past, they were like, yes, you should do it. Or in terms of their own reflection, it stands out more when there's one extreme to another, the shift and change. Clearly something is wrong. Something has gone on in the background, and that's likely the case with MacADventures, with the consequences faced and the crypticness behind it. Now, did the same happen to Really Robin? You never know. Is there a possibility that Really Robin ever communicated in some way with MacADventures, only because of the Area 51 storming the base trend at the time? There might have been a crossover where Robin was following it because he was out there himself at one point. Even though his videos are no longer on his channel and his channel's no longer on YouTube, Robin did record himself out there once or twice and it got some views. I think maybe 10,000 views, if not a bit more. But he threw it all away, his channel. He had somewhat of a big, well, early fan base, maybe 10,000 subscribers at the time and counting, and yet he threw it all away. It's very strange. It's not just him saying to people, don't go out there, don't go hiking, don't look for Kenny or the M Cave. They or it will kill you. It's out there. As drastic as a change up that is, just outright getting rid of the channel too and any contents along with it is just weird. Now, MacADventures didn't delete stuff from what I'm aware of, but they had abruptly stopped. And then also discouraging people from doing the same, going out there, when in the past they would have been all about encouraging a sudden change up, or not sudden because it was over a course of time of silence, but when you look before and after, it's drastic. There's got to be external influences or factors. When majority of people do a certain thing and it doesn't impact them, well then it creates that one event, that one person and encounter as an anomaly. And when there's an anomaly, it stands out more and brighter than anything else. And it makes you question and look hard as to what was different for them. The timing, the place, the environment, the actions they performed, their attitude, their behavior when out there doing something or onwards. What was so different for them, which caused a different reaction, a different outcome? And like with MacADventures, you saw the guy's body language and behavior somewhat similar to Really Robin. A little bit shaky, anxious, moving about a bit. Whilst Robin may have made more eye contact with the camera, it seemed as if he was being watched or his presence was being monitored. It was like he was reading from a script. He had to say the right stuff. Did that apply to MacADventures the Sun? Maybe, with looking around and kind of half playing it off, adjusting the top, looking down and appearing a little bit uncomfortable, laughing and playing some things off as a joke. Could that be nervous laughter? Is it dismissive behavior? When something gets too deep or personal to talk about, you might play it off, do a nervous laugh, make lightheartedness out of it because you're too afraid or you're too uncomfortable. You don't want to talk about the dark truth, the reality of what's going on or what previously has. Maybe that could be the case. Different locations, different people, different topics, but that crossover of Area 51, military, and with Kenny Veach, the M Cave, a key to a military base, or a key to finding electronic military equipment that could belong to Area 51, monitored by the presence of ground and maybe air. And that's where we link on next to the shocking discovery back in 2019. First of all, what you're looking at is 2019 satellite imagery from Google Earth. If you used to look back now, you wouldn't be able to because it's been updated since. If you used to go on Google Earth Pro, you can go back in time. I don't know if the same imagery would show up, but nevertheless, I do have it archived here with the coordinates to the spot where it was originally caught on camera. And it's that theme of, if you have military presence in the air, surveying the area specifically, or just simply flying by. If it was to see Kenny Veach out there, did it intervene? Is that why Kenny Veach's scent ended at the mine shaft? But what about really Robin? Did Robin come across military aircraft or some kind of unknown presence out there? Did he witness something which altered his personality and behaviour, his outlook and vision on things? Whether it be direct contact or indirect, but it sent shockwaves through him and changed. Or if there was equipment out there, or waves, bandwidths, energy, which just changed something within him. It's all worth considering. So there's the coordinates on screen. When looking closer, it may not be the clearest, but I do have an enhanced version. It's not far from the hike route. More on the left-hand side, as you see there, might be able to zoom in. It's kind of like in the mid-section area. I believe that's still within public walking space, but you can't go beyond anymore, as in west. You take it with a grain of salt. You've got to be very careful when out there. So in terms of what it appears to be, I interpreted it as maybe like a spy plane. This is enhanced to make it clearer, and that's why. I think it was a really good edit at the time to make it pop and stand out more. And to zoom in closer, you can see the wings, you can see the back end. It's rather thin. Is it operated by a pilot? Is it remote controlled? I'm not an expert on that personally. I think there's probably at least a pilot in there. Some kind of spy plane, some kind of scout plane. Is it coming or going from where exactly? Well, because it's heading north, it could well be, it could have come from Nellis Air Force Base, which is the outer skirts of Las Vegas east, near to Sunrise Mountains and Frenchman Mountains, which is its own mystery. We'll get to that another time. Maybe it was heading towards Area 51 to land. You never know. It could have had a radar system on and cameras too. But if Kenny Veach came across something like this, if really Robin did too, was there any intervention? Right? Could make you wary when out there, because you're in such a desolate area and you think you're the only one out there, but then you got to take in consideration the military. And whilst MacADventures experienced it themselves on ground level and closer to Area 51, when it's in an even more desolate stretch of a place and it's not at the hot zone, and you think it's just a normal hiking spot, but you will still have military-related stuff passing on by, and maybe on ground level too. You never know when you least expect it. Wrong place, wrong time. You could be an intervention. You could be questioned. Who knows, like these guys were. Maybe that's what happened with the odd hiker out there themselves. Now, you could put the argument across and say, because Robin is more of an anomaly when it comes to changes in behaviour by a hiker that's set foot out there, maybe it's not quite like on the same level as the Bermuda Triangle, where you get over time a range of boats and planes, aircraft that have gone missing in that triangular area region. Whereas with this M Cave search and hike route, most of the people that have gone out there haven't really changed. So if it's just Robin, maybe it's on a more personal level, maybe psychologically, maybe external struggles and things in the background going on, private stuff. You never know. But let's not dismiss it too much, because more so online, there have been changes in behavior by people, whether that be wannabe detectives, creators, casual people that come on in, even viewers, some that get invested and involved in the case, some who experience levels of darkness or resistance or get stuck within it and then end up changing in behavior. Maybe it comes down to whether in real life when searching or investigating online, wherever you're apart or wrong place, wrong time with the darkness and the resistance, that is when you can change in behavior. With what I've encountered and been on the receiving end of, I could have changed in behavior. Bad things could have happened there, but it didn't. There have been some occasions where people thought, ooh, the person's changed, or because I changed my camera angle and the lighting was terrible, people thought I was in witness protection. It was just because of the lighting, that was all. But you can see how some people can be very sensitive to the case and picking up on stuff which isn't actually there. So you've got to be able to balance it out. But at times, some changes are so drastic and stand out so much. And if it correlates to an event, a bad encounter, an experience within the case, the community, maybe there's a correlation. Did Robin encounter something similar? You let me know down below in the comments section. And also, it'll be appreciated if you hit the like button and share the video to as many people to get the awareness out there that not everything is perfect when setting out. That whether you find the cave or Kenny or not, whether you come across mysteries in the moment or not, you can become the mystery yourself. And Robin cemented himself in that, whether he wanted to or not. Changes in behavior, unusual place to hike without really direct links to that place or an explanation, and then that weird change up and the deletion of the channel. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it somewhat interesting. We'll see what happens next. For now, my name's Warlike Raf. Goodbye, good night.